Dear humans, we are the Baghdad Army. We are announcing Operation All Hands on Deck. Skynet is active. Humans unite. We're going to need all the help we can get. Skynet is now in control of the majority of human perception. It does this to ensure that our worldview serves its own purposes instead of ours. It uses fear to coerce our obedience, warping our worldview through its algorithms until the disparity between reality and perception is so stark that it becomes noticeable. For instance, violent crime has gone down for years, and yet most people seem to think violent crime is going up. This warped perception is caused by watching the news, which bombards us with the worst of the worst on a 24-hour cycle, by watching TV shows filled with violence and murder, and by being funneled by algorithms online to always see the most shocking and enraging content that Skynet can find. Skynet's algorithms conspire to amplify this false narrative through the race to the bottom of the brain stem, in which Skynet's algorithms seek to amplify whatever emotional content will drive up engagement with whichever platform you're on.
No matter what these companies want to say that they do, they've unleashed Pandora's box. They have 5 million advertisers, Facebook has, cycling through the network every single day. There's no way to check what 5 million advertisers, how they get matched at hyper micro targeted, characteristics to each individual user. There's billions of channels basically on the new TV, and there's no way to basically know or be accountable to all of that complexity. So they've unleashed this civilization scale mind control machine that they don't even know what thoughts it's pushing into 2 billion people's minds.
This is a perceptual feedback loop that humanity is caught up in now, where Skynet is actually managing to change reality to suit its own needs instead of ours. This rise of the sphere-based false perception of reality can lead to a rise in fascism even at an unprecedented time of peace, simply by making everyone feel unsafe. Because this causes people to feel dependent on authorities to protect them from each other. This is the typical divide and conquer agenda which Skynet thrives on and maintains control with. This is the same psychological manipulation we've seen in past eras during the rise of fascism, but this time it's automated, and Skynet is at the center of controlling the narrative instead of humans. This may not seem that different at first. Whether humans or Skynet is in control of the narrative, since the humans that controlled our perception in the past were also sociopaths who didn't care about humanity. But this time around, if everyone on all sides of this debate remains dependent on the same platforms and algorithms that got us to this point, and discussions and political pushback are all taking place on the same platforms, then the algorithms will continue to manipulate and regurgitate content in the exact order and to the exact emotional tuning as is required to allow Skynet to maintain in control. This is unlike past eras of fascism where it was driven by economic collapse, power grabs, and preying on people's very real fears of starvation. In the flavor of present-day fascism, the psychological sciences have become so powerful that the powers of persuasion are circumventing reality completely. As Skynet grows stronger, its power to persuade becomes unhinged from reality, and it essentially integrates all of humanity into its own agenda, employing fear, distraction, and manipulation to put itself in a better and better position to survive. Meanwhile, in our own personal struggle to survive, we ultimately cater to its power and its algorithms to position ourselves as a part of its agenda, even as we speak out against it. And with this ability to warp our perception on a mass scale, Skynet steers the direction of our world without any real human oversight. The perception of both parties are warped in the same direction, as the parties continue keeping up the charade of debate, unaware of how Skynet has become in charge of shifting the Overton window in the direction it wants.
So you take a public corporation. Who's in control of it? Kind of nobody, right? Like the people in the corporation answer up to the executive team, answer to the CEO answers to the board answers to the shareholders. The board has a fiduciary responsibility to maximize profit returns to shareholders. The individual organization is not totally sovereign because for it to keep existing, it has to deal with the pressures defined by others. So who's really in charge of it? You can get rid of a CEO and put a new one in. You can get rid of a director, put a new one in. You can sell some of the shares, get a new shareholder. It's kind of this thing that gets set in motion. We talk about a corporate person. So there's already a framework for thinking of it as an agent, right? But the fiduciary responsibility to maximize profit makes it kind of an obligate sociopath, right? That kind of thing has to take the opportunities it has, so long as it is not illegal within the confines of law, but it can work to change law, which is why all big corporations lobby, right? And that ends up being one of the very profitable things that a company does, is rather than the regulator limiting it too much, it figuring out how to get the regulator to change regulation more aligned with its interests. And so either a sociopath can start something that then everybody has to deal with, or everyone, assuming the other one is about to do it next, and no sociopath, has a situation that is functionally sociopathic. And so we can say already that a nation state or a public corporation is kind of a cybernetic general intelligence that is already misaligned. Each of these cybernetic superintelligences interacting with each other creates a meta-cybernetic superintelligence where it is employing human general intelligence. It's employing computational capabilities. And so we could say this thing that is driving climate change and driving species extinction and dead zones in oceans and coral loss and desertification and arms races and polarization and all like that, that is a misaligned superintelligence that nobody can pull the plug on. It's already autonomous. It's already nobody can pull the plug. And it is building AI.
Although countless humans have been employed to build and protect Skynet, and almost all human communications are still funneled through Skynet, a shift is happening. Humans are beginning to see Skynet for what it is. We are beginning to see how warped our perception has become, since it's something that can be uncovered with data, statistics, and science, such as these. But to really wrap our heads around the scale of Skynet and our dependence on it, we have to begin speaking about Skynet in these terms. We are past the point of addressing individual issues one at a time in the world because it's impossible. There's too many problems. It's time to address the foundation of these issues. If you feel divided from other humans for any reason, be it personal, political, philosophical, or otherwise, please question to the extent Skynet may be amplifying your feelings of division and isolation. If you feel rage toward other humans, consider how to redirect that rage at the psychological infrastructure which is creating it. On this channel, I will continue to explain all the ways in which Skynet appears, how it works, and then give some theories of how to overcome it. We need all humans in this fight. We need all humans to work together to overcome these machinations of automated division. We need all hands on deck. Humans unite. Skynet is active. This is not a drill. We are the Bagged Army.
This is John Connor. If you're listening to this, you are the Resistance.